Episode 320. This bed doesn't really look too comfortable, but I guess it must be, if Komoi's sleeping like a log like this. Well, too bad, Komoi. I know it's like 4 AM in Aeolian time right now, but we got work to do. Time to get up. Gotta make every second count considering I think we're under DDoS attacks or something. At least logging in, there was a huge queue. I managed to get in somehow, but I was about to give up and record something else, I guess. This bed, though, it's basically just another tatami mat, isn't it? I realize this is like Hingashi, right? So they do sleep on the floor and like futons and everything in Japan, but I guess this is sort of a weird situation where they're making the floor a bed or something like that. It's sort of like a weird middle ground. We got two things to do over in the Ruby Sea. The main story and the ninja job quest. And we'll just do whichever ones appear to be like locally in our area, I suppose, as we're doing the quest. Well, I guess obviously the main quest is going to be in our area. But I guess if the ninja job quest is going to be along the way, we'll do whatever steps to the quest are nearby, I suppose. And unfortunately, I don't think I'm actually going to... Oh, leaves. No, we're ignoring that. This one. This thing which I forgot to do in the previous episodes, which would just take us over to the housing district. I think we're just going to save that for later. It's not going to take long to do that, but I feel like if I go to the housing district, I'm going to want to have to look around and, I don't know, just get on camera some shots of the pretty houses and everything, the pretty area. But I want to start this episode heading right into the Ruby Sea, the new area. So we're doing that. Ah, a Kojin captain. A fine choice. Only Confederate sailors rival their knowledge and skill. This one's smaller than the Misery. A lot smaller. Well, we don't have too far to go, I think. It's only like this, straight. Well, I guess it's still an ocean. Much smaller distance than this entire stretch of land, or stretch of water. I know Alphinaud can hold his own in a fight, but he is plainly better suited to more cerebral tasks. Surely I'm not alone in thinking that. Come on, let him join the party. Well, next time. I've been waiting for you, my friends. All preparations have been completed, and my ship awaits its passengers. Shall we depart without further delay? No further delay. Unless we want to hear your flavor text for when we say no. Okay, there's no text. Never mind. If you insist. With me, everyone. The Ruby Sea awaits. Wait, hang on. Maybe we do want to wait. Maybe we want to wait 15 Aeolian minutes before I press the X button. I guess I could have said no and I missed my chance to do other things like while we were here. But I just realized we're about to get the sunrise, and if we get that cutscene that always plays whenever we enter a new area, which I would probably want to use as a thumbnail considering this is going to be the Ruby Sea episode, I'm going to want it to be daytime lighting, so hopefully it doesn't take too long for the sun to rise. I mean, I guess it's almost up. Well, the other thing is that it's cloudy weather right now, and even if the sun does rise, these clouds might mar the background a little bit. And the only chance we have of that changing would be at 8 AM, because the weather changes at 8 AM 16 o'clock, which would be 4 PM, and midnight. Well, we're not going to sit here waiting for 8 AM. It is now daytime though, and I don't see the sun. This might just be what it looks like this early in the morning with the clouds out. You know what? I guess we can just go in. Alright. In fact, maybe the weather is different over in the Ruby Sea. It's like geographically a different location, but I guess it's not that far from Hingashi. Barely moved on that map. Okay, perfect. Well, I'm glad I waited for daytime.
I remember remember the water. How it turned crimson in the morning sun.
Oh wait, they just made it daytime, haha, for the cutscene. Or wait, did they? Morning sun seems specific.
A shimmering sea of rubies, stretching from horizon to horizon. You could almost believe it went on forever.
No, this has to be a curated cutscene, probably.
But beyond that red expanse lay a land in turmoil. On the shores of Othard, our Doman brothers struggled in vain.
I mean, this is poetry. They didn't write like a separate set of poetry for Moonlight over the waters or something. Yeah, they changed the weather. Well, thank you. Thanks for that. Well, betide any enemy foolish enough to attack by sea. Now if the Guardians were to bring their airships, on the other hand... The Indians built this island as a bulwark against invasion, and filled it with enough cannons to sink an armada. Somewhere out there, across the water, is Yugiri and Gosetsu's homeland. In fact, isn't... Actually... Wait a second. Hang on. I always... Yeah, that has to be it over there, right? Like, that's their homeland, those mountains right there. Because, this connection point right here does actually go to, like, across a land route to Yangsha and the Azim Steppe, so this is that shore right there that we can see in the distance. Part of me was wondering if maybe we just, like, see a selection of islands in the Ruby Sea, and when we transition from one zone to the other that we just assume that we travel the rest of the way across the water to Doma and all that, but yeah, that has to be Doma right over there, I guess. How wide and beautiful she is, the Ruby Sea, filled with promise and adventure and treasures, many wonderful treasures. One does not simply cross the Ruby Sea. Not a Lord of the Rings reference? Maybe. Now, in order to reach the shores of Othard, you will need to cross the resplendent waters you see before you. However, this is easier said than done. I mean, we can just swim, right? I'm sure we can swim that far. To set forth without making the necessary preparations is to invite the Confederacy to claim your vessel, and your life should you resist. But this fate can be avoided by paying the ruby tithes, thereby earning you the blessing of the pirate lords. So, let us go and greet them. Our destination is the isle to the west. I mean, Sorbonne doesn't have to pay, right? He lives here. That doesn't look very far to me. Komoy, why don't we jump in and swim for it? I've had my fill of boats. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. An excellent idea. I think you shall find the water to your liking. I will use my ship to deliver those less inclined to the isle. Take our cat. Oh, too late. Guess the cat's gonna swim. Did they add swimming in this expansion? Hang on, wait. I know they added like other water stuff in this expansion, but was swimming in A Realm Reborn or even Ishgard? I mean, there was water in these places. There's like the lake in Mordona and everything, but I don't think you were ever swimming in them. And even if there are places to swim, like over here in the Nocia, well, obviously you can swim in the ocean, like in Costa del Sol and everything. But when I think about it, did they add in that swimming, like, later? Or could you always swim? I can't remember. Like, maybe when they released Stormblood here, and you had to swim as part of the story. Maybe they added in swimming to the places that already had water in A Realm Reborn, just for fun. Maybe. It's not like there were any quests over in A Realm Reborn that you had to reach by swimming. Nothing like the Ruby Sea here. Maybe I'm just imagining it. You there, who are you and what do you do? I have the eyes of a hawk. It is both a blessing and a curse. On the one hand, I can see everything, but on the other hand, I can see everything. Must see a lot of naked sailors out there, I guess. Oh, and there's Lise. She's not naked, though. Ikaruga. We have been given strict orders to monitor all foreign vessels passing through this area. It is a far more taxing task than it sounds for. In addition to that, we must also contend with the Confederates. I keep on looking for the "Who are you, what do you do here" NPC, because there's usually one of them. Usually they're just like standing around in the middle of a plaza, sort of like this, facing an empty space ready to greet visitors or something. Not like Moroha, who's talking to people or whatever. But there's not always a "Who are you, what do you do here" NPC. Just usually. Oh, it might be Tsurugi. No wait, Tsurugi's talking to someone. Oh, whatever. Let's go for a swim. And actually... Okay, our next quest is over there, but that'll probably be on our way for the main story, I think. We're swimming. This isn't new, or maybe it is, I don't know. Well, the weather did clear up at 8 AM. It didn't matter though, we had the cutscene. The tailored cutscene. Right, this should be easy, and a good way to loosen up before the next fight, whenever it comes. 20 gil says I beat you there. You would win that bet. You can teleport. Well, at least we can, like, sprint. Right, I gotta keep a lookout for the Aether currents, right? That's what they're called. You know what would be cool? We get this ability as a ninja. This trait. That just makes us faster in general, and also this, which makes us take less damage when falling. These movement abilities that basically let us just get a little bit of bonuses for being a ninja. It'd be cool if they let us walk on water as a ninja, like in Naruto. It wouldn't be any different, I imagine, from just swimming in the water. You would still be moving at the same speed, and pressing sprint would just make you move at the same speed as you would sprint, swim, or whatever. But it'd look cool, as a ninja. But then I guess that brings up some weird questions about, like, fighting on top of water, or those mechanics. I don't know. It doesn't matter. I just think it would be cool, that's all. Alright, the Aether currents. Should I grab that? It's probably on the way. We'll probably pass it before we leave the island. Not that I have anything against the occasional dip in the ocean, but to dive in on a whim is a bit... Oh, come on. Oh, what spirit you two have to delight in this simple joy so readily? I'm pretty sure they introduced swimming. Like, this was your introduction to swimming, right? Like, they bring you to this area where there's water and you think, wait, how do I get across? Because maybe in previous parts of the game you couldn't cross water, and this is just a reminder, hey, you can swim now. Not bad. We'll call it a draw. Ah, there you are. I trust you enjoyed yourselves. Follow me, my friends. The one with whom we must speak is a man named Tansui. Well, he's going that way. Unfortunately, our Aether current is that way. I guess we'll go this way first after all. Ah, can't mount up. Damn. Oh, don't tell me it's actually up there, like where we are going. In which case I could have just followed everyone. Oops. No wait, it is right here. Okay. Damn, I think I'll have to get rid of this guy. More useless items clogging up my inventory. I kind of miss the big reveal. Not the big reveal, the tiny reveal. Like the curated path that they want you to go on when you're following the main route. It'd be like going up those stairs and, I don't know, taking in the sights or something like that. Kind of. It's not nothing, I guess. It's all part of the aesthetics, I guess. Well, we can see the stairs from here. Anyone here a who are you, what do you do here NPC? Maybe Hyun? No, he's keeping look, or keeping watch. I don't think Yusui would be one. Like I said, they're usually just like standing in the middle of a plaza or something. Me, slacking off? No, this is nothing of the sort. In fact, I would even say this is the most important part of my job. After all, if I do not rest and keep my eyes sharp, I am bound to miss something important. Okay. My clothes have mostly dried, but they're a bit clingy. Still, no regrets. Yeah, it seems like that might actually get in the way of a fight. This one is Tansui. Come, introduce yourselves. Thoma's position on the Confederacy could be best described as one of guarded acceptance. They are pirates, aye, but they adhere to a code and are a stabilizing force in the Ruby Sea. I wonder, laments and pirates have been known to say things like "are," but surely pirates on the opposite side of the world would use different expressions, or a-roo-roo-roo, perhaps. Okay. Great flavor text, I'll say. Well, hopefully they don't talk like rogues. I fear you have the advantage of me. We're famous. Most honorable and esteemed Komoi Moriko, I am Tansui, a humble mate who serves at the pleasure of the Confederacy's captain. As you are in the company of the Shellback, I presume we have business to discuss. So, who's gonna foot the bill? I've got like 231,000 gil, but, they're not gonna ask me for my money, right? The game wouldn't do that to us. You wish to pay the ruby tithes, yes? With your gil, perhaps? It is just as well. Foreign currencies are in demand these days. I would pay for their passage to Orthood. Does this sum meet with your satisfaction? The sea has been quite tempestuous of late. I cannot say with confidence that you would reach your destination safely, unless you tripled it. Do you take me for a fool? I know the price, as do all. Alas, we live in interesting times. As you came from Kugane, I should think I need not tell you that. The shadow of war looms. The wise and the cautious shirk our waters and our custom, and the foolhardy sharpen their knives in anticipation. Meaning... Sir, you've got to come quickly. The bastards are at it again. I tried to convince them to stop, but they weren't having it. Very well. I will be there shortly. A proposition. Your comrades strike me as worthwhile investment. I would not hear men name me a cat before Koban. Cat before Koban, huh? Koban like being a coin? Oh, a cat before coin, because he's being greedy. He doesn't want people to think he's greedy is what he's saying, got it? So I shall consider their tithes paid. Not for what they have done, but for what I expect they will do. I mean, we did come here for this. I'm assuming this is what we're here for. That's a nice necklace, by the way. Like that Moogle. Wow. Can we get that? I'm not sure what to make of that man, but at least the matter of our ties is settled. For now. What was that he and the other pirate were talking about? Maybe we ought to go and have a look. Playing right into his hands. It'd be kind of nice if you could, like, use Shukuchi in a way that automatically does the maximum distance forward without having to target. Maybe there's a macro for that? I don't think there is, though. Where is the next one of these things, by the way? Way far away. I think for the Ruby Sea, we should be able to get all the Aether Current stuff before we leave it. Unlike how we had to abandon all that stuff in Garabania because we were cut off from half of the map on both occasions. And I mean, all the Aether Currents will be available, like out in the world, but the main concern is getting all of the ones locked behind quests. I'm not certain this is a wise idea. Do you know what this is all about? I've been away for some time, so... Crap. Get out of here. Okay, well I guess we have to do this. Let's get some help out. How long does True North last? Hmm. 10 seconds, that's pretty long. 10 seconds and we have 2.5 seconds on each global cooldown, so that means 1, 2, 3 would be 7.5. If we do True North on our positional at the end of a combo, we can get a second free positional in while True North is still active. That's Tansui over there, isn't it? Over where? I guess we'll go look by the sparkles. Oh, is that them over there? I guess it must be. I mean, those NPCs aren't just out there as part of the world. Should I get like a necklace for this glamour? It's like one of the rare necklaces, or one of the rare chess pieces that allows a necklace.
Gentlemen, I'm told you are most unreceptive to my associate's requests. I realize you do not look kindly on the Confederacy and her ways, but if you refuse to pay the ruby tithe, your safety in these waters cannot be assured.
Spare me your concern, pirate. Your feeble attempts at extortion will not work on us.
No, we've got an Imperial Pilus prior on our hands. That's better than a Pilus after? I don't actually know Guardian rankings.
You remain at large because we allow it. Because you are such insignificant little pests that we see no need to swat you. But if you wish to risk the ire of the Viceroy, by all means fire upon an Imperial vessel. Give us a reason to bring the full might of the Garlean Empire to bear against your pathetic fleet.
We can't hear you behind that mask. You're too muffled.
Bastards!
Gentlemen, surely the fact that you have such limitless resources at your disposal gives you all the more reason to spare some few coins for the less fortunate.
All talk, just as I thought. Come, let us away. I have no time for this rubbish.
Is everyone okay with...
We're all the same to them, aren't we? Savages to be ruled or slaughtered.
We're just kind of having this conversation and soaking our feet. I guess that's fine. No one minds.
They've always balked at paying the ruby tithe, but they were never so eager to pick a fight. The problem, you see, is that many of my comrades in the Confederacy are of Doman descent. And the acting Viceroy, well, she's none too fond of Domans, to say the least.
Yeah, funny that.
If we take any action to hinder the safe passage of an Imperial vessel, she'll accuse us of attempting to foment rebellion and brand us enemies of the Empire, which we can ill afford to be. Like the man said, we're all talk.
And where did the Kojin stand in all this?
With the winning side, of course. They're mercenaries to a fault, eager to offer their services without coercion. The Shellback could tell you more, though something tells me he would rather not.
I don't understand. If the Garleans are causing the Confederacy this much trouble, and if so many of you are Doman to begin with, why aren't you willing to fight back?
Spoken like a true friend of the Doman Liberation Front. If you're planning to rouse us with noble words and grand promises, don't bother. We all know what the Imperial Army can do. Compared to them, we're boys with boats. Besides, what ties a man may once have held to his home are forsaken upon joining the Confederacy. We look out for none but our own. Be that as it may, our livelihood is under threat, and the captain will need to decide soon whether we're to go down in a blaze of glory, or bow and scrape for crumbs from the Emperor's table. All while our friend the Viceroy continues her purge of Doma's radical elements. I believe she's holding court in one of the fishing villages even as we speak.
That she-devil! Her perfidy knows no bounds!
Perfidy? That's a new one for me. Gonna have to look that one up.
She must be stopped! Come, let us find Soroban and put us here at once!
Tell the others that these ones have paid. We all have places to be.
Muted there. Doma is but one of many promises, or many provinces, under Imperial control, filled with people who have had to find ways to cope with a bitter reality. So they really don't care what happens to Doma? I refuse to believe that. No chance to talk to Sorbonne. I guess that's the whole point, we're missing him. He just kinda bailed for some reason. What are we waiting for? Come. Sorbonne cannot have gone far. Though now that I think on it, it is passing strange that he left without warning. Mayhap he did not wish to be seen by his Kojin brethren. I doubt he thought to leave us behind, but nevertheless, it may be prudent to return to his ship, or at least to the Confederate encampment. The Crab Pots. Great area name. Right, nothing nearby. This northeast one would be probably way over here, I guess. Maybe even by that job quest. Alright, map unlocked. We can get the rest later when we have flying or something. No. To be honest, Ruby Sea, not exactly the most memorable area for me. It does have its charms, I guess. I guess the main charm is that, well, you can do all the water stuff later. And that one dungeon that is in the water is pretty memorable. And of course, that dungeon, which is like memorable in its own right. Never really did that on my main character though. I mean, I did do it, but not like any real depths to it. Didn't really do any of the deep dungeons to any real depths on my main character. That was sort of a new thing for me to do as Komoy. And I guess I'll go into that dungeon and do some things there. But, I'm not sure if I want to go all the way to the top. Might have had my fill with going to the bottom of the Palace of the Dead. Guess we'll see. That would all be stuff that I do during the patch quests or whatever. Where are we talking? Oh, there we are. Oops, I went around the long way. I'm sure he has his reasons for his odd behavior, and I should like very much to hear them. Trust requires honesty. Huh, I told you he would not abandon us. Oh good, he's still here. Oh, my friends, 1,000 pardons. As you may have guessed, I was reluctant to be seen in your company by my red brothers. Ours is a complex relationship. I pray you do not misinterpret their actions as a reflection of our allegiances as a whole. You understand? Kami be praised. Too often our shell is quick to judge all Kojin for the deeds of one. I mean, it's sort of like what the Garleans do, right? They sort of conscript people against their will, even against their own nation. That's sort of like a big theme that's happening, it's happening in the forefront of this expansion. We already saw that over back in Giravania with the skulls and everything. And we're gonna see more of it. Right then, now that our business with Tonsui is concluded, we can traverse the Ruby Sea without fear. And that reminds me, getting that item, get rid of this thing. I shall return to the ship and prepare for our departure. If you have any remaining business to conduct with the pirates here, I pray you do so now. Ah, that reminds me, Komoy. Would you be so kind as to inform the Confederates of our plans? The more they know of our movements, the less like we are to be mistaken for another vessel by their comrades. No, I forgot to get the flavor text from these other guys, because it probably would have changed after Sorbonne explained himself. Well, it's too late now. Oh, well, okay, yeah. He was telling us business, like Rappaport business with them. I guess that was the indicator that we now have side quests unlocked for this area. And we will do the Aether quest, the Aether current quest, before we leave. Just feels like it's the right time in the story to do it as soon as you unlock it. You, yes you. Do you know of the Ruby Price? The fortress in the middle of the Ruby Sea, from which the Bakufu soldiers survey the surrounding waters. The other day, we found one of their men stowed away on a ship we confiscated. With a bit of coaxing, he eventually confessed to doing some underhanded trading with a red Kojin on behalf of his superior. Seems he thought he could avoid paying the ruby tithes by hiding aboard someone else's ship, but no one gets away with crossing our waters free of charge. As such, I'm looking to track down this superior of his and have him compensate us. If I try to sail to the Ruby Price and look for him myself, however, I'll be blasted to smithereens before I even make it halfway there. Do you think you could go in my stead? There is a man by the name of Ikaruga there. He is an old friend and should be able to identify who our captive superior is. I'm guessing we're getting compensated for this job, because we don't really have any debts to these guys, right? I mean, we had the fee waived for the Ruby Price and everything. That doesn't mean we're in debt to them. Okay, take less fall damage because we're a ninja. Even through our chocobo, I think. Can the chocobo... Oh, it can't swim. Mounts should be able to swim. I guess that'd be an entirely different animation. And that becomes all trivialized when you unlock flying, but... I don't know. When I hear about people taking boats, like the NPCs and everything, it just makes me think... You should be able to drive a boat around or sail a boat around these waters before you get flying. Maybe that's just a luxurious wish or something, though. I mean, who really cares about that? I guess I do. It would just sort of help with the world building, I guess. Or the feel of the world. If characters actually moved around in boats and everything. Ah yes, just the other day one of the soldiers deserted base. I suspect he is the man Yusui is after. Trade with foreign countries is strictly prohibited in our nation. The man, upon learning his subordinate disappeared, feared he would be caught and turned tail, and ran. Caught and turned tail and ran, yeah, that was right. If what you told me is true, he likely went northwest of here to seek asylum with the Kojin of the Red. I am tempted to go after this man myself. Alas, that would require me receiving the necessary authorization, which could take days. Please, track him down and arrest him in my stead. If he resists, feel free to kill him. Okay, and that doesn't require authorization? Weird. It will take time we do not have for me to receive the necessary permission to go after this felon. As such, I ask that you apprehend him in my stead. That's just the same, okay. Thought it might be slightly different. It wasn't. And back over there. Things are really only going to be slow going across the water in this very beginning part. In fact, this is like the only zone in the game where they require you to go across water like this. And it doesn't last too long. Gotta remember I have a macro. I always go for the double tap shortcut. Because before I had the macro, that was the only place I could slot in the mount up, I guess. Actually, I think the last cutscene that we had was Tansui and the Guardian soldiers on that boat. There might have been a better shot for the thumbnail in that. We got a good set of landscape shots basically in the introductory cutscene, and it was like a curated sunset time of day, or rather sunrise. But I feel like maybe there might be more communicated in the thumbnail with like the story that's going on in a single image, I guess. The standoff between the Guardians on the boat and Tansui on the shore. It's like imagery that conveys what the episode is about or something. But I guess the landscape of the Ruby Sea is also what the episode is about. Because that's where we are. What are we... Where's this guy? Not you. You're not a guy. You're Tatsunoko. Where are you hiding? There you are. You traitor. Well, I guess we have permission to kill this guy, which seems to imply that we are going to kill this guy. Get away from here. Seems like a bit of a harsh punishment, but okay. I would have to be a fool to agree to go with you. I'm so close to that Kojin settlement, so close to freedom. Gotta remember to start my rotation with all of this stuff, which actually weakens them for the subsequent moves. What a sad tale. Well, a sad fate at least. The guy wasn't exactly pitiable. It's more so that the laws feel a bit weird, that we can just do that. Alright, we'll report into this guy. Oh, no, we have to report to this guy, damn. You know what, it'd be faster to do this. And luckily, once you get all the Aethernet shards in the city, you unlock some teleportation points that go outside the city. Unfortunately, we don't have an Aether ride over here. Ah, so it seems he forced your hand. Perhaps his death was for the best. I will send word of all that has happened to Yusui, though I'm not sure he will be happy to hear it. Ah, you are curious to know how I will inform him? That, my friend, is a secret. Wink. What's that supposed to mean? This is weird. Wait a second. Did they, like, pull one over on me, make me do the dirty work without, like, doing anything themselves? The whole reason we came over here was that we were told by Yusui that he can't inform Ikaruga about, like, well, he couldn't communicate with them about this thing, and he sent us over to find out about this thing and deal with it. Because he was saying that he would be blasted by the cannons if he tried to approach. But if they have some form of communication that doesn't require, like, going over there, then what was the point of us doing all that? I feel like they were just joking on us or something. We're the clown, after all. So I want to see, as always, does this Aether Current quest lead into a series of quests in the area? It does not, it just unlocks Triple Triad, okay. Then we'll do a quick game of Triple Triad. Even though you're playing a completely different game on this board. I wouldn't say no to a game or two, although I must warn you, I'm known as one of the best in the Confederacy. One reward, we'll try to get it. Oh wait, is that... I think that's actually my Ascension deck, yeah. Well, it's still not a bad deck. It's also a plus deck. Which might be a problem if he screws us over with plus. Alright, let's transfer him to plus us out. Perfect. Come on, give me the card. Maybe I should have started with Urianger. If we do like this, go ahead and take it like from the bottom, yeah, that's fine. Oh no, this isn't plus, or rather this is same, it's not plus, damn it. Maybe I should have done Terra after all. Damn it. Crap even. I'm just gonna have to hope this doesn't end up being taken by that last card. Okay. And still no card. I'm not gonna sit here forever. I'll give it like 2 more victories. We win 2 more times, and if we don't get it, then we don't get it. Not much we can do there. We could try to set up a plus there. Like a... I don't know, a 3 and a 7, and we've got... We don't have a 3. We have an 8 and a 2? No, we don't have a 2. Whatever. Just do it fast. Just take the cards and that's it. That's all the strategy you need sometimes. And they don't really know how to deal with that strategy, most of the time. Unless they get a cheeky plus. Alright, one more. We better get it this time. Alright, alright. Just take it from here. Would have been nice to have Elmer for that one. Just take the cards. Who cares? The more cards you take, the more likely you are to win. Oh wait, you might get a plus there if... Okay, good. Okay, well, screw you. What was that text? You certainly know how to play, unlike most of the drunkards and swindlers around here. I have no qualms about taking their coin, but they don't offer much in terms of practice. And you don't offer much in terms of cards. There's 1 card and we didn't get it. Oh, you're one of them meeting from the beach, leaving us already? No need to pay the tithes, like Tonsui said. On the other hand, if you were to peruse our wares and find anything to your liking, we would be glad to sell it to you for a fair price. What are you buying? Or selling? Tonsui seems to believe you're not the type to let a favor go unanswered. Assuming he's not mistaken, I have no doubt you could find a few odd jobs here. Okay, I guess we already did that. But only the one. You'll get another odd job as soon as I get that one triple triad card that you owe me. Those are my terms. Oh wait, we're going this way. Almost mistook the job quest for the main quest. Are we gonna get to like teleport by riding this boat? Don't remember if we do. Next stop altered, Endoma. We're coming, Yugiri. What are we standing around for? Did you not hear what Hansui said? The Viceroy must be stopped. Even if we need not fear the Confederacy, there's no telling what manner of Imperial presence we will find waiting for us. We must be careful. You have spoken with the Confederates up above then, yes? Or up above then, excellent. If you are ready to depart, we may do so at any time. Okay, I guess we do get to teleport. No more swimming for us. Then let us be off. I shall deliver you to the fishing village of Isari. Wait, Tansui said the Viceroy was holding court in one of the fishing villages, did he not? Should Isari chance to be the village in question, we would instantly find ourselves surrounded by Imperial soldiers. I think it's safer to come ashore some distance away. Very well, I know just the place. Now that would have been a great thumbnail if it was daytime. It would have been silly to try to swim all the way here, at least this time. At long last, I'm returned to my homeland. Still have your bearings? I know it can be difficult when you're on the water. That's just code for saying check your map, I guess, to understand the layout. So we just teleport all the way here. I thought we'd like faff around a bit over here more. I mean, I know we will, but... let's just forget the order the story goes in, I guess. And this. Here we are. I am reasonably certain none bore witness to our approach. And with this, I believe I have fulfilled the terms of our agreement. Aye, that you have. You have my deepest thanks, Sorbonne. Truly, we are blessed to have befriended such a clever and industrious merchant. Oh, you are too kind, much too kind, good sir. I know not where your path may lead, but I wish you the very best, and I hope that we shall meet again. We will. So we finally arrived in Northard. All we need to do now is, liberate Doma. Okay. Ah, yes, that. Look, daunting though it is, we do have one thing in our favor, the element of surprise. Unlike in Garabania, the Imperials don't know we're here. Admittedly, that may be our only advantage, considering how few of us there are. Yeah, I mean, we were losing the battle to liberate Doma when there was basically an entire army at our side, and the plan became to liberate an entirely separate country on the opposite side of the world, to make liberating that first place even easier, but now we're just doing it with like 4 people, basically. I mean, we've got an army over here, just haven't found them yet. Well, I expect the Doman Liberation Front will even up the odds a bit, exactly. But before all that, we need to see if this is the fishing village Tansui was talking about. It may well be. I smell ceruleum on the breeze. Oh wait, I think this cutscene would have also been good for the thumbnail. If it is what I remember it is.
Even accounting for the rebellion, such indiscriminate shows of force seem pointlessly excessive.
If only you knew how commonplace such scenes have become. Are we too late?
Over there, someone's coming.
It is she, sworn enemy of Doma, of my master. The traitor who sold her homeland to the Garleans. Yotsuyu.
Yeah, that's a familiar tale. We kind of got the same tale in the Ninja Dog quest.
The Viceroy herself. And look behind her. Isn't that...
Yeah, it's funny. This guy got banished to the exact place that we were heading later in the story.
Filth and squalor everywhere I look. How very dumb. What I wouldn't do for a drink.
You gotta speak up, Yotsuyu. I guess she is saying that under her breath, though.
Come now. You've no reason to look so afraid. You have lived through a quarter of a century of Garlean rule, remember?
Okay, now she's speaking up.
'Tis better to bend with the wind than stand tall and be broken. Therein lies hope. Therein lies freedom. I come before you today seeking affirmation. A heartfelt declaration. You're free to answer me as you see fit, yet even the least among you should know the correct response. Should. A resident of your village, one of your neighbors, mayhap your friend, was detained by the Kojin this morning. They say he was attempting to flee to Kugane, but we both know that simply isn't true, don't we? Have you anything to say? Bit slow, this one. Is there anyone more sensible among you? Have any of you anything to say? To swear?
My lady, I swear to serve the Empire, to do whatever is asked of me, and never disobey.
Well said, that man. Of course, it wouldn't do to simply take you at your word. Kill him. Surely you can do that much. He must be guilty of something or other, or he wouldn't have attempted to flee the Empire.
I have a family. Kami, forgive me. Kami, forgive me.
Very, very good. I've always had a soft spot for men like you. Next, I want you to shoot those two over there. Too old to work, you understand. A burden on the Empire. We can't have that.
But they're my parents. You can't expect me to...
I'm pretty sure Komoy would say this, even though it's the wrong answer.
And think for a moment. If you go charging in now, every one of those villagers is as good as dead. We must consider the wider picture. If we act recklessly, we risk alerting the Garleans to our presence here, making it that much harder for us to work with the local rebels. To say nothing of the reprisals ordinary civilians would be made to suffer.
Open your eyes, girl. They are already suffering. Let me go. I am putting an end to this madness. I will approach the village alone and identify myself. As a former leader of the rebellion and a known fugitive, they will wish to detain me until they are certain they have learned all I know. Use this time to make your plans.
You saw what those monsters did to the villagers. Who knows what they'll do to you, assuming they don't kill you where you stand?
We live and die at the pleasure of the Kami. My fate is in their hands and no others. If it be of any comfort, I am no stranger to chains.
You can't expect us to stand idly by as a comrade goes marching off to his death. And this is nothing like Kugane.
Nor is it like the Reach, Lise, or the Wall. Let him go. Hold out for as long as you can, but remember, noble sacrifices are to remain an absolute last resort. I wish I could say it won't come to that, but only the gods know how we're going to get you and the others out in one piece. A miracle, perchance.
A great tower stands to the north and east. Look to its occupants for aid and succor. Together, you may yet find your miracle. Now, leave this place. I must go.
Another idiot like all the rest. I'm beginning to think it may be something fundamental. Something intrinsic. Something quintessentially Doman to ignore the simple truth. You can't do a damn thing if you're dead.
Enough, Yotsuyu!
Well now, this is a surprise.
Hear me, Yotsuyu! Cease this farce, here and now, and I shall surrender myself to you. Refuse, and all shall answer to my blade.
Bring him to the tavern.
Alright. I like that scene. It's a pretty brutal scene, it's kind of hard to watch. But at the same time it establishes, like, what a bad character this character is, and also establishes what a good character... Can't believe I'm forgetting his name after that heroic sacrifice. I just have problems remembering names of these characters across, like, all these expansions. There are so many characters. His name is Yukiri, and it's Gosetsu. His name's Gosetsu. Yeah, that scene shows just what a hero Gosetsu is, I guess. Even if it's like the wrong move for the bigger picture of everything, he just doesn't let anyone, or let these minor villagers or whatever on the outskirts suffer in silence or whatever, when he can do something about it. You heard him. Let's go. I hate it as much as you, maybe even more. Every fiber of my being was crying out to intervene, but what's done is done. Gosetsu's gamble has gifted us the time we need to find a solution. He bade us seek aid at the distant tower, yes? For want of a better idea, I say we do just that, while taking care to avoid the Imperials. Okay, and we're just about at time to end the episode, but I think what I'll do is go a little bit ahead of where the quest is taking us. And just to stop by over at this Aetherite so I can have that in between episodes and everything, if I ever have any reason to just go off somewhere else, I guess. Should be the same island, right? Yeah, it's the same island, so that's fine. The natural flow would have been that we accept the next step of the quest here and they would lead us towards the Aetherite. But I'm kind of afraid, well actually, you know what, if I'm already like a minute or two over, I guess we can follow these steps until they actually take us over to the Aetherite. And it should be like a natural cutting off point there. So yeah, I guess this is how they direct us towards the other parts of the islands. I forgot the detour we take. She's right. This is not like the Reach. This is worse. They were defenseless. We seem to have evaded their patrol so far. What is that tower anyway? I've never seen anything like it. It has nothing to do with the story. At least this part of the story. According to my map, we are on Onokoro, and the tower is known as Heaven on High, a mysterious structure built long ago by persons unknown. Oh gods, listen to me. I'm starting to sound like Alfie Node. Next thing you know, I'll be saying things like, as you are doubtless already aware. Yeah, they do say that a lot. Over there. Do you see it? Doesn't look like it's been dead long. Whoever did this, they're a good shot. I can't see a single stray arrow. Well, someone's hungry. Wait. That wasn't either of you two, was it? Oh, I guess the inflection would have been, well, someone's hungry. Calm down. We had nothing to do with... Wait, what am I doing? You can't possibly understand us. And even if we were a Kral, apparently her ability doesn't let her talk to animals, which I guess was never the case, even though I feel like I've misunderstood that on several different occasions. Whatever. Probably not, no. Time to run these. We save our strength for any that give chase. You too, Komori. Kind of a weird turn in the story. I didn't actually expect we would have to deal with this much. I thought we would just be walking over to the Aetherite. Okay, well I guess I'm committed to making this episode a little bit longer now. As soon as we get to the Aetherite though, we're done. I'm doing this all wrong. Oh, whatever. It would just make things go by a little bit faster if I did the right rotation. We're almost there. Can't be too many more cutscenes now. Ooh, that went better than expected. Just imagine if they'd taken us by surprise. What a fine ending that would have been to our story. Anyway, I think it's safe to assume that the people at the tower know how to defend themselves. You'd have to. Sharing an island with these things. Now all we need to do is convince them to help us. Okay, we're almost there. This is probably going to be a cutscene, right? No, whatever. We'll take it. So that's the way of it. Oh, there's a settlement here. And they've even got their own aetheryte. Wait a minute. I've seen that standard before. It was when we met with Tansui. Which means this place belongs to... oh. More pirates. Well actually... okay, that's a good cutoff point, I think. Good there wasn't a cutscene. Yeah, the end of a quest and the beginning of the next quest is probably the best place to call it an episode. Probably. I haven't been talking to these guys. I guess I have to have falcon porters rather than chocobo porters, because, well actually chocobos can fly, so it doesn't really matter. Ever since Ishgard. The reason they have falcons is because this isn't Eorzea, I guess. Okay. So we finally made it to an aetheryte in the Ruby Sea. The other one is over here, but it'll probably be a little while before we get that. I just didn't like ending the episode before I had an aetheryte in this area, because it's kind of a pain to get around this area. And we have like the teleportation from Kugane over to here. It's still kind of a pain though. So now that we have this, I think I'm okay with calling it there. That would be a good time to take a break.